Hey guys, Trav here. So in this video we're going to be talking about interest rates and macro stuff at a very high level because, I'm not an expert in this sort of stuff. But we're going to be talking about that anyway, what's going on in the market, a few charts that have been requested, and do I think this is the bottom or not? The answer is no. And I'm going to talk about this chart here, which I posted yesterday that got a lot of chatter and comment. The description that I put in the post wasn't exactly super descriptive. There's a few sentences, so it's quite easy to get it, the wrong idea. So let's break this down first, and then we will get on with the rest of it. All right, roll the intro. Right, so this is the post that I put up yesterday. It was more of I was just sitting there thinking to myself, gee, the world is really going to shit right now. The pension funds in the UK almost went bust. It was there was news reports coming out saying that if they didn't print all those pounds on that particular day, that there was going to be a whole lot of pension funds that would have gone bust. And I thought, geez, that's really, really bad. And they left it a bit too late. Why didn't they, do anything earlier? So the dollar is really skyrocketing. Where are we now? Well, it rocketed up to 114, and then we're back down again. So let's have a look at. So I had this level marked out for a while now, which is the 120 level. So it's hit the 1618 extension off this bottom here. So we're almost at the top. I've seen other people draw this chart. They must have more history, but I don't know. Or I don't know how they've drawn it, but it seems as though that they might be doing it like this, right? Because I've seen how they've drawn it, and it's been like, so the way that they've drawn it is like the trend line sort of tops like this. So what they're saying is it'll go up and down, then up and down, and sort of just keep going like that. I haven't been able to figure out what the source of their chart is. Suffice to say, we're at a big order block here, and at the 1618 extension, and we could get temporary relief and bounce up here. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do know is that the world is hurting right now. The energy prices in Europe are crazy, and so the pound is printing at the moment, and something's going to give. Or what's Putin doing? He's coming out and saying that he's going to annex part of the Ukraine. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Something has to give. We can't keep going on like this. So what is going to give? I don't know. Let's go back to my. Where's my chart? Back to the weekly. Okay, so is the US going to continue to raise interest rates and just keep piling the pressure on, or are the other countries going to raise their interest rates to match, or is the US going to stop raising interest rates but just keep it as it is, or are they going to lower, or are they going to start buying other countries' currencies to sort of level things out? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of moving stuff at the moment. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about all this in the first place, is because like all of crypto, whether we like it or not right now, is correlated to traditional markets. If you haven't figured that out already, just the stuff in the top 10, top 20, like the large market cap stuff. If you're trading NFTs or some low cap shitcoin or something brand new in DeFi or whatever, none of that's correlated just the big boys. Anything that the Wall Street guys can get in with enough size. Like if Wall Street started buying, shitty moon coin or whatever, then it would spike it all over the place. Like they're not interested in that. So it's only the big stuff. Anyway, so we're at this point, and here's where we are in the market right now, which is at the all-time high retest. So we're at this pressure point now, and I'm just thinking that something's going to give. So either this is like a local bottom, and we have some relief, and we come up. It just looks like that it's going to, like, it's a valid point, right? But if things go to absolute shit, then we're going to fall all the way down to 12K. Is my view. The point is, I don't know what scenario is going to happen, and I want to make sure that I am at least exposed somehow for the next bull run, whenever that is. And again, it's going to be shitty because we aren't going to experience a bull. I don't think we're going to experience a bull run separate from the stock market. And this is talking about, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, the top TVL type coins, right? Because we're all correlated. So when I say this could be the bottom, I don't think, what I'm not saying is that, this is the bottom and then we shoot straight up. This being the bottom could mean that we sort of meander like this for ages. And then we get to 2024, closer to the halving, and then maybe we regain the level, and then we start to go up, right? So if you're thinking, I need to get in now, I don't think you do. You've got plenty of time. I don't think the world's markets are going to fix themselves in a week or a month. It's going to take a long time to play out. The questions that I have is this the sort of level that we're just going to hover at for the next 12 months, or are we going to capitulate? Is something really bad going to happen, and are we going to capitulate down to 12K? Anything below that, we're really screwed. So I think that's just another get rid of that. That's another discussion. So I mean, if we fall down to here, that means the stock market's all fallen down heaps too. So it won't be just crypto capitulating, it'll be everything. And then we have another discussion. So, how does the world recover? Do we, go on like this for, 5 years or whatever? I don't know. So I think the immediate actions for me is to figure out, are we going to stay here and sort of go sideways and then up later in a year or two, or are we going to maybe meander our way down, or are we going to nuke down to this level? And I just don't know. I don't know. It's all very up in the air. Anyone that has, like, they're super definite about this is absolutely going to happen, great that you have conviction. I just don't. And I don't think it really matters anyway, because if you are in this, like if you think crypto is going to be here forever and slowly evolve and become part of society and is going to be a success, then eventually it's going to get back up here. It'll eventually get over here or even here up to 100K, right? You just need to be patient. So this isn't like day trading, right? This is the long-term investment type bags. If you don't think that it's going to get back to all-time highs, then this isn't even a question for you. Why are you worrying about buying it? Just, you're done. Move away. But like I said before, Bitcoin is correlated to the stock market. So you're basically saying the stock market will never rally again. Of course it will. When? I don't know. Are you patient enough to just buy some stuff and put it in cold storage and just wait? Well, I am. So are you? So if you are, then great. Just buy little bits. Dollar cost average. We don't know what's going to happen. You don't need to be going in full size every time. I'm certainly not. So like the stables that when I transferred to stables back up here, of that money that I've got left, I have, a bucket that I've said I'm going to invest this back into crypto. So I'm going to deploy that, in this range here. So in the 20K range, which just makes, from a TA perspective, just makes super sense to me, right? It just makes lots of sense. And then the other one is in this order block sort of level here. That makes sense to me too. So the longer we hang around here and then we listen to the Fed come back with, we're going to do this and that, they'll eventually start talking about, we're not going to raise interest rates anymore and we're just going to keep it here. Or they'll go, well, things aren't turning around fast enough, so we're going to go harder. So that'll give me an idea of how much more I need to deploy here or here. And they're like, do I want to leave some for here? What I don't want to do personally is have, price go sideways, for a few years and then take off and me not have bought any here. Because I could be wrong, right? Because I still think that there's definitely a reasonable chance it will nuke down to here if something bad happens, right? So I want to have money available to buy here, so I'm going to leave some. But if by some miracle the world just goes, right, we're going to sort this out and do this, and then, we'll wait for the economy to come out slowly and have this soft landing that they're talking about, then we could just meander around here for a while and then go up. And if I didn't buy any here at the most obvious retest level in the universe, then I'm going to think that I'm an absolute idiot, right? Because it was there, right in your face. And we've been talking about this 20K level forever. So that's the idea. You do you, but I've got this level and this level. And these are the two levels that I think, that's the two levels that I'm going to be buying at. I'm not going to be buying anywhere in the middle here. This is just no man's land. This is very inefficient. Look at this. This is like straight up. This is like straight up and straight down. There's nothing. There's no support. If it falls, it's going to go all the way down to here. And then it'll, get support and sort of meander around here. And then if World War III starts, then, well, game over, right? So that's my long-winded thesis. Hope that makes sense. Let's look at some other things that are, supporting the let's start DCAing theory. This is a website called Look Into Bitcoin. This particular chart here is the MVRV Z-score. There's a whole bunch of charts that you can look at, heaps. They're all free. You don't need membership for this. So we're in the green zone at the moment. So what the hell is this? It is the Bitcoin chart that uses the blockchain analysis to identify periods where Bitcoin is extremely over or undervalued to its fair value. It uses these three metrics: the market value, the realized value, and the Z-score. So there's the market value and the realized value. It's all there. Now, how it can be used? The score has historically been effective in identifying periods where the market value is moving unusually high above realized value. These periods are highlighted by the Z-score, which is the red line, which is this one. It shows when market value is below realized value, right? So it's useful for predicting Bitcoin price at extreme market conditions. Can forecast when Bitcoin price may need to pull back and enter upper red band, blah, blah, blah. I won't go through it all. You can go to the website, read it yourself. So basically this Z-score in the red has picked the tops of the market with the exception of the last one, right? It just touched into red. So if you sold when the Z-score was in the red, you would have been right. And if you bought in the green, it was the bottom each time here and touched in here. So that was the COVID dump. And we're in the green zone now. So this is where you should be DCAing according to this one. So it's market cap minus the realized cap, and there's a standard deviation. Bitcoin profitable days. So basically it's like if you bought Bitcoin at any time on this chart, are you in profit or not? So if you bought up until December 11th, 2020, you are in profit because, it's gone up and then back down. So we're here. So anything below this line, you're in profit. So all these people are red. So we're still at a point where 85% of people, or 85% of Bitcoin that's out there, is in profit, which is still huge, right? So the amount of selling going on, people are pretty comfy because most people have bought Bitcoin way back here and here and here. So that even if it fell down to here, there wouldn't be, much need to sell. If it starts falling into this area, though, you get, you turn the clock back towards 2017. So that percentage will start to jump, and people might get a bit edgy. But right now, it's fine. Because when people start to get edgy, they'll go, oh no, I'm losing money, and then it'll sort of just capitulate. But there's no reason for most people to sell even Bitcoin now because they're still in profit. I'm sure they're pissed off that it's not, back up here, but they're still in profit, right? This tool shows how people who have simply held Bitcoin long enough on the time horizon are rewarded with price over time. For investors, it also demonstrates the importance of understanding market cycles. The drawdowns from cycle tops can last 2 to 3 years. I think we all know that. This is the 2-year MA multiplier. So basically, you would sell above the red line, and if you accumulated below the green line, you're doing fine. Why do they use the 2-year? It's a long-term investment tool, so Bitcoin is adopted through market cycles. They are created by periods where market participants, overexcited, cause the price to overextend, meaning exuberance and volatility sort of pushes it way up outside the norm. So just think of this as like a normal channel, right? Almost like a Bollinger Band in a way. So that's in the green. Again, I'm not going to go through the full description. That'll make the video too long. Just go to this website here and check it out. The Pure multiple is about miners and their revenue. So are miners selling, or are they, not selling as much? So, or holding. It really depends, right? Because if you're a commercial Bitcoin miner, you still need to sell Bitcoin to pay for electricity and whatever. But if you're smart and you sold like heaps up here, you've got yourself some runway. So it's telling us that selling from miners is quite low, and each time it's done that, it's been the bottom. Each time, miners have been selling heaps, it's usually been the top. Again, similar to the first chart, we sort of didn't really get there. So there's another thing that's saying that Bitcoin miners aren't even interested in selling. Coin days destroyed. This is about the movement of Bitcoin. So if you held, let's say you bought Bitcoin a year ago and then you moved it to another wallet, and that could be an exchange wallet or just another wallet in general, 365 days would be added to this line, this red line here. And then that particular address would restart back to zero. So when lots of coins start moving, the days that they were stationary sort of adds up and then gets added up and thrown on this chart, and then it all resets to zero. So if you see the red line at the lows, it basically means that Bitcoin isn't really moving at all, which is a good thing from a price point of view, because the less that it moves, the less chance it is of being sold. So the assumption here is that if you're moving Bitcoin, it's moving to a place where you can sell it. So in periods of high, coins today is destroyed. We have marked the tops and also bottoms. So here was one just here in the capitulation, so that people got, liquidated and whatever at that 6K level. But usually when it's quiet times and it's the bottom, nothing much is really going on. There's not a lot of people running for the exits, trying to cash in. So we're at real lows at the moment. So Bitcoin isn't moving, miners aren't selling. What else we got? We're at, by moving average standards, we're below this. The charts at the TA sort of level is really good. We've got the volume here is really high. People have pointed out that this is the Bitcoin chart. This is the Binance chart, and Binance has fee-free trades on Bitcoin, which is true, but that started way back here in July, which is here, and it's only gone up since then. Like if this was like flat, I would say yeah, sure. Like or this, like say from here, it was just bricked and it was like super high all the time, then sure, that'd be just people taking advantage of the free trades. But even with that, people have ramped up since then. So there's a lot more trading going on. So there is, for me, I think, it's definitely a local bottom, if not, like I said before, the bottom. But that remember that just because it's could be a bottom doesn't mean that we're just going to bounce to all-time highs. This could be just the level that we just stay at for a while. Because you don't need to be like the bearish for there to be bullishness and go up. The first step is to not be bearish and just sort of be, just flat and sideways. So the Fed could just say, hey, things are still pretty bad, but they're not that bad. So we'll just like not raise rates anymore. And everyone will be just and relieved, and it will just, sort of wait and see. So that's where I think we are. All right. Let's have a look at some charts then. So we've gone over the Bitcoin chart. Ethereum, which has been requested, that is, we'll use the Binance chart. Let's have a look. So yeah, it's a similar story, although it looks better because it's above the longer term moving averages, but it's similar, right? So this was where the merge happened, and then there was the sell off. This is on log. Yeah. So I mean, it looks dead set the same, right? So they're going to move together, right? If Bitcoin starts to move up, so does Ethereum. It'll probably move up more because it's an alt. Ethereum doesn't have a bullish catalyst like it did with the merge, so there's not going to be any buy, rumor, sell news sort of stuff. So what's next for Ethereum will be, because if you're not going to be buying Bitcoin, you need to be buying alts that outperform for some reason. So what's the narrative now? What's the narrative for Ethereum now? I don't know. I'm sure something will come up. So, with the strongest performer, it's still going to correlate. So if everything goes up, well, if Bitcoin and the stock market goes up, everything else is going to go up, but which one is going to go up more? And vice versa, if it goes down, which one is not going to go down as much? That's what you want. So I think, Bitcoin and Ethereum look exactly the same to me, relatively speaking. There is a nice channel in here, but so for Ethereum to be really bullish, you really need it to break up here and then go. So you want to clear the 50, bounce off this and do that. And we still might do that, but it might take it might take us until 2024, which is like here, and then we're away. Right? So it might go like that. Next, Atom. Let's look at Atom. Atom looks similar to Bitcoin as well. It's got this really long-term trend line. Atom's got a whole bunch of fundamental news has come out recently about their new white paper and their new roadmap and what they're doing. So it's outperformed quite well. I could even probably put some sort of level in here. Like there's an order block here and there's some here. So, you know, the range that Adam might trade in for the next bit might be something like this, right? So it's definitely one to watch. There's lots of activity going on. If it breaks this level, for me, that'll be the same. Like if Ethereum breaks this level, Atom will break this level. So again, do you think Atom will outperform Ethereum? Then you know what's the rate between here and here? So between here and here is 147%. If we go back to Ethereum, we'll just use this chart for between here and here is 82. So Atom is moving further. So depending on how you trade, you might get more profit out of buying Atom. It also works the other way, right? So going back to the Atom chart, where's the thing? Go back to the Atom chart. If this falls all the way down, it's going to fall further, right? So all the way down to here is like 60%. Got a feeling that this longer term trend line is going to hold though. That's just my gut, but this is the weekly chart, so lots and lots of time to see how everything plays out. Solana is the next one on the list. Solana looks really ugly. There is a nice order block holding everything up. I've said for ages that I think 20 is going to get hit because of these wicks down here, but it just doesn't want to budge. So we're at this level now. So for me, and here's like the absolute extreme sort of bottom for me, which is like $11. So again with Solana, I don't know. Like there has been a ton of news come out on Solana recently with obviously the phone. They're running a hackathon like in one country on the planet nearly every month, and there's heaps and heaps of devs rocking up. There are heaps of protocols that are building right now that don't have tokens. Like they're either self-funded or funded by VCs. VCs are going to want to return on their money. So expect either those protocols to turn revenue, like to generate profit, or release a token. The projects that build in a bear market are there for the love of it, rather than all the projects that are sort of fly by night. We're in the bull market, we're here for the money. They get the money, the market turns, and they go, our protocol was only good because the token's price was going up, and now it's not, so they just give up. So this applies to any chain, obviously. So if you're following a project and they're building now, when there is no buying pressure, they're funded and they're hungry. So keep an eye on them, right? And there's a whole heap of projects coming out of Solana that are doing that because of all these hackathons. So yeah, price just doesn't want to fall. But again, it's correlated to the others. So if all the others fall, so will this one. It's not special. So yeah, because I don't know. So I'm buying Solana here. I'm just dollar cost averaging again. I'm still thinking we'll hit 20 at some point. So I'm saving some for then. And if it never hits, then I'll just deploy the rest as it starts to go up. Right. If it does something like this and sort of wicks down and comes back up and then does that, well, all the money that I was going to spend here, I'll just buy here or here, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because it'll probably go, at least back up to here or here. So for the sake of what, $10, like the entry's out by $10, I'm still gaining what, 5, 6, 7x on spot holdings. Like it really doesn't matter as long as your P&L going up. Ooh, you didn't hit the bottom, super bottom. That doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. What matters is your P&L going up. These are again long-term looking for the next cycle sort of entries. Day trading, way different. That's a different video. The next one, the last one that had any sort of voting was Algorand. Let's have a look. Wow. Algorand, I haven't looked at this. So Algorand is like right at the bottom here. It's bottomed out big time. Hmm. Yeah, so I don't really know what's going on in the Algorand space, like fundamental wise. Are they releasing stuff? What's happening? We're right at the bottom, aren't we? I think for me, same play. If you're bullish on the Algorand ecosystem, start deploying capital here, but make sure you keep some for 15 cents. If it breaks 15 cents, geez, it's done. We're done, and we go all the way into no man's land. So that's a bad scenario. So if you are thinking Algorand's got a chance and it's going to be good, I would be just because if it falls down here, your money's gone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like you got it wrong, right? So start, accumulating here and here. This is going to be the same with all coins, to be honest. Let's have a look at Dodge. Same thing with Dodge, right? Let's move this level. So you got this one, and then you got the one down here. Same thing. See, they're all the same. Your coin isn't special, people, especially in the top section of like the coin market cap thing. If you want uncorrelated stuff, you need to be looking in NFTs and like the shitcoin casino that is Binance Smart Chain. So I think that's enough. How long have I been going for? Half an hour. Yep, we're done. That's enough. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the socials. Peace.